guys, it's David. Welcome to my channel. Hey, today's video is working on the garage makeover. We're adding another cool element to this garage that we want to add for quite some time, and it's the vacuum reel by Cox using Cen-Tec vacuum hoses. And I'm going to show you the bits and pieces of all the parts I'm going to use. And this is the cabinet, as you've seen in my previous videos. There I keep all my lawnmower, my edger, weed eater, all that good stuff. But also keep, my detailing equipment, and I'll eventually over this season, this spring and summer, I'll continue to improve the storage of that. But I wanted to make it easy to mount the reel here, and then the hose reel I ordered is 32 feet, I believe, and I believe that's plenty long enough to do anything in the garage. Now going out past the garage, maybe a different story, we'll see. We'll see if I need to add an extension to that or whatever. Well, again, I'll show you the bits and pieces. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the reel right here. And then probably underneath it right here, I'll put just a simple light switch. So I'll have my electrician come back after I install it. And inside the cabinet, we're going to put an outlet, the switched outlet, so then I can plug the vacuum into it. So it's always, got powered. So that way from the outside, whether it's me, my wife, or whoever's going to need to do some vacuuming or detailing on the car, can literally just walk up here, flip the switch, and grab the hose and vacuum away. So let's get you guys inside where I've got all the bits and pieces of all the parts, show you what I'm doing, and then we'll get to installing this bad boy and check it out. So stay tuned. All right guys, so inside, I'm just in my entryway. As you can see, still have the wreath up. Now this is still decorated for Christmas, but typically my wife will redecorate it throughout the season, so we never take the wreath down. And this is what, 3 weeks into February. So anyway, so here's the parts we have. This is the CoxReel. You see that name, CoxReel, and so it's actually heavier and sturdier. I see why these are a little pricey, because I waited. I was going to get one last year, and sometimes I feel like I'm too cheap on certain things, and so I was like, I'm not going to spend the money on one of those things, but I really wanted a vacuum set up in the garage. So so here we go. So I finally ordered one, and it didn't take long to get. It was in stock, but it's got this nice heavy duty handle up here on the side, and you can tension, you tighten it down for how much you want to, how much drag you need on the reel itself. And then you have one side that you hook up your hose to, and then on the inside, you can see this, you got this hose clamp here, and then you take your hose inside, you can see that or not, inside here. So from your actual vacuum, you would take it to this outer part, and then your hose goes here, and then it comes across and goes inside this clamp, so it keeps it, so you don't kink your hose, and it keeps it there, and then you start rolling it there. And I'll show you that as we install that portion. We'll do that in the garage after I mount it. So there's the reel, and then the hose. I tell you what, I learned a lot in this hose ordering process, because I wanted a nice hose that wasn't going to kink, that I could change the ends on, that would work well with this. And I kept looking at all the different ends, and so I ended up ordering 2 different hoses from Cen-Tec. So I'll show you what I experienced. So I ordered 2 different hoses, one 30 foot, one's like 32 feet. And so the one thing I didn't realize with these hoses is that it comes with an end like this on one side, and then the other side has this piece right here that is stuck in. And I thought that was a one-piece deal, so it could only go one way. But I was clearly wrong. So these have, what's really cool is these ends screw off. Make sure it's opposite of what you think. Yeah, it goes opposite direction. Screws off the end piece like so. And then now it's just the end. And it's made, everyone can see inside that, guys, but it's got threads inside there. So they typically use this hose for multiple things. In the shop, and then for tools. So, for instance, you have a quick connect. Same thing. This, if you have all these individual pieces, like these things right here, you can hook to your tool, so you don't have to keep changing them off. You just hook it to your tool, whether it's your hand saw, table saw, whatever, and then you can just quick connect everything. And so, if you don't need a quick connect, which I didn't realize, this piece, keep wanting to screw it the wrong way. Screws off, and you can put whatever end you want on it. So it makes it super flexible to do whatever you want with these hoses. And so that's the reason why I have 2 hoses. Because I just didn't know. I thought, well, shoot. I ordered the quick connect system, and I must have ordered the wrong thing, but not necessarily. So, with that being said, I'm not using the quick connect because I'm just really using it in the garage for the vacuum. So, long story short, all you really need for the outdoor or for the garage set for vacuuming out your car is this one piece, which is a rubber end. It's rubber both sides, but it's got threads on one side on the end, and then it's kind of a nozzle down here. So, screw that on. So then you can use any attachment you want. So, so you'd have one end like this, with this end going into the reel, and then on the other end is the exact same piece I just showed you, so you can put multiple ends on it, like this stuff. You know, for crevice tools and whatnot, you just suctions right on there, and it's got a nice grip. That's it. I was overthinking this whole thing, but you could obviously put on different ends here. Matter of fact, you know, if you got like the real small crevice pieces, you could take this piece off, screws off, put another piece on, like this one, and I don't know why I like to go the opposite direction, but so now we have this piece, and it's got a different nozzle on the end, like that. It's smaller, and then you can put little smaller tubes for, you know, for small crevice type places. So there's so many cool things now that I really understand. Now that I have it, I really understand kind of how this works. So I'm going to end up with a little extra hose, but that's okay. But I figure that's another reason why I want to make this video, guys, because these things are so interchangeable. So really, if you're just using it for the shop to vacuum out your cars and whatnot, this is really all you need. You just need this little piece right here, this little flexible rubber piece on where it has a threaded end on one side, and then nothing on the other side, so you can put whatever you want attachments to it to clean out your cars. And then, like I said, the other end is just like this, goes inside the reel. So that's all the parts. So let's get to the installation. So here we go. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and, without holding this thing up, because this is pretty heavy unless you just have a second hand, and I might need a second hand when it comes to actually installing it. We'll see. But it's just 4 bolts. But to make it easier, I just cut a piece of cardboard, and I'm going to put the cardboard on the floor and just put this reel on it, and then I'm going to use my Sharpie and we'll draw the outside line of the actual frame. So I know where the edges are. And then I'll of course draw the circles for the holes need to be drilled to put it into the cabinet. So that way I can just hold up this cardboard, drill my holes, and then just feed in the bolts to get this thing installed out there. So other than that, that should be all that we need for now. So let's get this out there on the cabinet. Alright guys, so we have the reel mounted. I've got 2 of the 4 bolts in. I'm gonna get some smaller bolts to go in here because there's 2 different sections that's in this cabinet that I need. One has a 2x4 behind this, and the other one does not. So I just don't want a long bolt sticking in the other side. So I want to go grab another couple bolts. But this is up nice and sturdy, but still I want 4 bolts in here. So what I did is I found a hose saw bit. and cut a hole in my cabinet that goes inside, and then try to do the smallest bend on here as possible. I may end up buying a 90-degree adapter depending on how it works out. But anyway, I've got a small bend on this. I don't think it's enough to constrict using the hose from the rigid. And let me show you the rigid, what I'm going to do to that. So let's take you over there. All right, guys, so a lot of you are familiar with rigid. They actually make a great vacuum for the money. This is their portable vac. All right, guys, so after much debate, this is the setup I decided to go with. So I was able to trim this hose that came with the rigid to length, and then I fed it through the hole that I drilled earlier, and then went right into the outlet of the rigid. And I decided just to keep it on the ground. It's got wheels and everything. That way it makes it easier. And I put these little brackets in and just put a fairly loose zip tie, so there's no strain on the hose. It's not pulling it into restricting kind of airflow. It just really just to guide it to keep it in place with this bend. And then it makes it easier for me to move this around, take off the lid, and then get to the filter, empty it, that sort of thing. And then put it back in its place. And I got it where the wheel goes right behind that little edge. So, and then once I get the plug put in, then I'll either shorten this cable. I'll probably put the plug in here somewhere, not sure yet. I'll get the electrician, see what the best place to place that. And then we'll put a switch on the other side to make it easy to turn on and off, so you don't have to open this door. But I've already tried it out, plugged it in temporarily into the outlet on the wall, just to make sure it didn't have any restriction. Extended the hose all the way out, and it still has great suction all the way to the end of the hose, which is great. So I don't have any kind of problem with the bends that are going on here, so I don't think I need to get a 90-degree adapter. And then for my other stuff, I'll show that in another video or later on, how I end up managing all my hoses for my power washer itself. I'll put some more brackets. I don't need to get to this hose, so I'll probably put a bracket here and just set the power washer on, or here, right over it. And then I'll situate my hoses so they're nice and clean too on hangers and stuff, and organize this section really nice. So stay tuned for that. But let me get to the other side. I'll move the camera real fast and show you guys putting the hose on the reel and winding it up, and then we'll get wrapped up on this project. So here we go. You see I've got the hose connected to the outside of this, and it goes in through a hole, and it's got a nice loose bend. We can see that going in and down into the vacuum. So now remember, on this one, we have the rubber hose that twisted on the end. So it goes in here and then suctions, push it nice in there. So to keep this bend right, they have this little rubber gasket kind of surround or holder. Again, all these parts that I have installed here today, purchased with my own money. So this is Cen-Tec hose, CoxReels, and rigid from Home Depot. We have the vacuum, the shop vac. So, guys, let's get to some vacuuming, test this puppy out, and get this thing wrapped up. Hope you enjoyed the video. Had a lot of fun trying to figure this out on not only what to order, but how I was going to install it. Again, I do not have the electrical outlet in place in my cabinet yet. So right now I just have it physically plugged into another outlet outside of the cabinet. But I am going to have an electrician come out this next week and put in an outlet on the inside. That'll be a switched outlet. And then we'll probably put the switch probably right in here somewhere, so we can easily just flip the switch and then get the hose and bring it out and vacuum right away. So again, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I got a whole bunch of dirt stuff from sawdust, from all this, so I just want to show you guys real fast how well it does vacuum with that 5 horsepower rigid vacuum cleaner from Home Depot with a 32-foot hose. And I'll unrail it and go over there and vacuum away. So check it out.